Hey y'all, I got a motherfucking podcast. Yay, yay! So, listen. Alright. It's the DJ Kidstar Podcast. We in episode 2. Alright. Consistency. It's the word of the week. Bringing you the news and music and entertainment. And this week we have no shortage of stupidity brought on by our own United States government with the pandemic unemployment, people, which is the reason I'm drinking heavily. This week's episode sponsored by beer. Beer, refreshing drink that you can always have morning, noon, and night. But the reason why we're drinking is because there is no more pandemic insurance for us entertainers, DJs, artists, live venues, so on and so forth, all under the umbrella of music entertainment, because Congress once again could not get their act together. And hey, this podcast isn't politics. I'm not that guy. We're not trying to get political. However, this does affect music and entertainment and a lot of people. And you would think just one time Congress would get their act together. One time. This is both Dems and Republicans' fault, so I'm not taking any sides. It goes right down the middle. I mean, these people are supposed to be the brightest of the bright, right? I use that term real loosely. But, these people get paid six figures, millions of dollars. Some of them are lifetime government officials. And they can't even get one thing right in the most critical time, which seems pretty simple of a solution. 2020, as we're looking at it right now, it's a wash. I don't know about anybody else out there in the business world. Well, I know a lot of people in the business, but I don't know if you're, as far as, being an entertainer, musician, DJ, whatnot, all 2020 events have been canceled. All of them. And I've been hearing throughout the DJ community in regards to bookings or no one's picking up books in 2020. If you're lucky to get a couple gigs, it's probably with a long-term residency or network establishment you have. So the people who just did tour gigs, out-of-state gigs, they're asked out. And so, again, everyone's just looking towards the 2021 season in regards to, what's to come. So right now, it's survival mode for 2020. And for a lot of people, hey, that money helps them out. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, for some people, it's not even what they're making, for Christ's sake. You know what I mean? And how not better way to help out the economy than give some money to people so they can spend it, right? Seems like a no-brainer. But who am I to say anything? I'm just a DJ with a podcast. DJ with a podcast and a big fucking ass beer, bitches. Anyway, enough politics, because that shit'll get me pissed off, because that's real stupidity at its best. But anyway, we're going to start on a positive tip in music, because it was new music that came out this weekend that I thought, two songs were pretty slamming. One song for sure, I don't think came out this week, but the remix did, which was dope, was the Rod Wave Rags to Witches with Little Baby. That song was fire, man. So, big shout outs to Rod Wave. He just jumped on the scene this past year, doing big things in the hip-hop genre. So that song is my jam at the moment. And the other song by, I got to give it up to the ladies, Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion. That WAP song, it gets a Jew hot and bothered sometimes. You got to listen to those goddamn lyrics. Girls are nasty girls. Nasty girls. All right, moving along. But those two songs, check them out. Definitely don't listen to them. Well, at least the Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion. Don't listen to it around your kids, because they'll learn a couple things if they listen to that song. But moving along, keeping it, I guess, on the musical news tip. Jake Paul, YouTube star and sensation, along with music artist, I guess, if you want to use that term. YouTube prankster, YouTube podcast guy. He does it all kind of thing. He actually, I think, if I remember correctly, was picked up by, what's that guy's name? from Jersey who started the wine shop. Big Twitter guy. Gary Vanderchek, I believe is his name. Yeah. He actually picked him up and taught him the way. But Jake Paul obviously didn't listen because Jake Paul's place, home in California, was raided by the FBI for apparently a issue at a Las Vegas mall in May or what have you. So I don't know the exact details, but they did raid his house, so it was probably a big deal. And they were seen on camera leaving with guns, hell of a lot of guns, rifles, the whole nine. So he seems to be in a little bit of trouble. But hey, I think the world could do without that douchebag. What are you going to do? Maybe he needs to go to prison and learn a couple lessons. But yeah, that's one of those things. But yeah, moving along nicely and keeping in with music. Chainsmokers, the big EDM pop group who makes me nauseous every time I hear their songs, did a concert this past week for a charity concert event, whatever, that they DJ'd for. And there's several thousands, I think possibly tens of thousands. Anyway, there was absolutely no social distancing, no mask worn, what have you. It was all caught on film. And of course, backlash ensued, and the Chainsmokers were shamed because of their actions with no mask and social distancing. However, I would shame them just based on their music. I mean, they should be shamed constantly because that stuff is god-awful, horrible. I mean, if you all didn't see them when they first jumped on the scene on that Billboard award show. And honestly, let's be honest, people. You know what? I sit here, I talk the trash, but I recycle it. I definitely recycle it. You know what? I'll give it to Chainsmokers on this. If you gotta I guess you gotta like Chainsmokers only for the fact that if they can do it, any fucking moron can do it in music. I mean, those guys can't sing a lick, not a note, not an iota, not a nothing, and they just jam their vocals through auto-tune, which is also pitch correction and the whole nine and robotic, whatnot fun stuff that digital world has given us to allow us to become these great singers. And they shove it in through a bunch of delay and reverb, duck it down in the mix a little bit, and shoot it out. And for whatever reason, they have fans. But I will say this, at the Billboard Music Awards, man, what was the... Hold on. Yes, I found it. It is the 2016 MTV VMA award show where they performed Closer. Oh my good Lord Almighty, please go YouTube that show. Actually don't, because you're going to give them the views and they're going to think they're more popular. But if you ever wanted to see a train wreck, that's it. But that's what you people want. That's what the population wants. You guys want to see a train wreck. You guys don't want to see excellence or good performances. You want to see crappy, terrible train wrecks to make you guys feel better. So, hey, there you go. They're actually one of the best train wrecks to ever do music. So, yeah. Anyway, also speaking about big train wrecks, and probably one of the best in the business, is Kanye West coming back again. So Kanye West, as we all know, and he's soaking up already too much of my podcast info. Last week we spoke about how Kanye West put his name in the hat for president's race of 2020. But as we all know, everyone, right after he did the presidential tweet announcement, he tweeted some crazy tweets talking about how Kim Kardashian's mom was trying to stick him in a psych ward, and Kim tried to have their kids do naked shoots of Playboy, which is completely bizarre considering I think the kid is like 3 years old. Ugh. Anyway, everyone thought it was Kanye West having a bipolar meltdown. Maybe, maybe not. But however, he has officially registered in the state of Wisconsin for presidential nomination. Now, obviously, there's a million more steps Kanye West needs to take, million more, I'm sure, paperwork that needs to be in order, which he's way behind the game. Doesn't have the machinery in place to even have a considerable run. It's beyond bizarre, but I mean, if you just want to, if you just want to put Trump in office, there you go. Vote for Kanye West. Fantastic. It's 2020 just keeps on getting better, people. But anyway, that's Kanye West, little Kanye West update. And keeping with the train wreck theme, but let's move genders over to female. We have Azealia Banks, who just this weekend, if you don't know who Azealia Banks is, she is known for that song 212, which is actually a dope song, way back in the day. Since then, she's tried to release several songs, none of which reached that kind of popularity or crossover popularity, so kind of technically she's just a one-hit wonder. However, she will not let go or get off the stage because she continually finds herself in trouble or saying outlandish, wild things that always get backlash and always have getting people angry. Well, she's a controversial figure, or so what, but this weekend, popping back up into Twitter world, the Instagram world, whatever you want to call it, she posted something which people weren't unsure. It was like a cryptic kind of message, and I will read just an excerpt of it on Instagram, which was either about suicide or a possible humongous publicity stunt. But if it was a publicity stunt, I mean, there's nothing you want to joke up. There's a couple things you just don't joke about, and suicide obviously is one of those things. However, there are no boundaries to Azealia Banks, so who knows what's going on. But I'll just, like I said, read the clip, and then you guys can go do your own research. In the Instagram message, I quote, here it is. My decision is made. I'm just going to really try to push through these next couple of months. I'm going to start looking for voluntary euthanasia options. Because, I don't have any more defense. I don't. I don't know what that means. I actually went back and read some more of the experts of the Instagram. Quote, it's definitely bizarre. Azealia Banks is bizarre. Has always thrown out bizarre things. So who knows if she's dropping an album next or whatever. But watch out. Someone of Azealia Banks' friends should go talk to her. That's something serious she's playing with. Anyway. Also, that is something kind of serious is China's popular app TikTok has been banned by the Trump administration in the United States this past week. Super popular app. You do those stupid dances for 4 seconds, and next thing you know, you're famous. So that has gotten a lot of people up in arms as well because, as we all know, TikTok is one of those social media platforms that everybody loves. And now that it's banned, there's going to be a lot of boo-hooing. Although I just heard that Facebook did a duplicate type of app. Facebook. Either stealing, copying, or buying other apps. I love it. Oof. I love beer too. So yeah, Facebook apparently copied that app. So we'll be seeing that. Just like how we see Instagram integrated in Facebook, all that. I believe TikTok's a thing. They're going to use that whole 4 second, I think, video option or whatnot integrated in those apps. I haven't played around with or seen it, so don't quote me on any of that, but that is what I read, and that is in the process. I do know TikTok is probably trying to sue the U.S. so they can go back in there, but hey, it's a China app, and for everybody bitching and moaning, I will say this at least. I mean, I'm all for evening it up with China for sure. I mean, hey, everything you buy is from China. I mean, half the reason our shelves are empty with whether it's equipment, stuff to build houses for, certain type of food products. I mean, it's all from China. So, no bueno, people. You know what I'm saying? We're in a little issue. We got to stick it to them. And as we all know, the Chinese government is a super data collector. I'm talking, they already have facial recognitions in all their streets with cameras. Also, one of those ways to collect that personal data is through these apps, which obviously comes into America, and all of a sudden you're stealing American data. So that is something that affects you. And if you're a private person like myself, you don't want that shit, man. And to be honest, even if you're not a private, you don't want that shit anyway. Even though all our shit is already out there, you still just don't want it. Do you know what I'm saying? Anyway, so TikTok users beware, but also be on the lookout. There may be something integrated with Facebook and Instagram that will satisfy your 4-second dance craze. All right, what else have we got? Okay, for entertainment, 2 talk show hosts, which was fun, had a little controversy this week. First one we'll start off with is Ellen DeGeneres. Is it DeGeneres? DeGeneres. It's DeGeneres, I believe. I don't really watch her show, but I do like her as a person. I mean, from what I've seen or read. However, her show hit the shit fan this past weekend with accusations and I guess evidence of racism, sexism, sexual assault, and a slew of other things in and amongst workers on the show and underneath Ellen herself. Ellen went to Instagram and Facebook and did a whole apology thing, but it fell on deaf ears because apparently a lot of people said, and they got quotes and interviews from people that said, Ellen is one biatch to work with. Ouch, that one's gonna hurt for Ellen. Especially, it's pretty ironic considering that she always fighting for equality, or supposedly she does, and she can't really keep her own house in order. That's a tough one for sure. Rumors around there are the Carpool Man and late night host James Corden will be replacing her. He's a funny guy, you know. I think that could be a good baton switch right there. So hey, Ellen had a good run, you know. Doesn't every show end with a sexual harassment suit or some sort like that? I don't know. Number 2 show host, Oprah, jumped on the scene this week with, I believe it's her 2nd episode or 3rd episode of her show, but she has a show called the Oprah's Conversation, and in this conversation, the $2 billion show host scolded every white guest on her show about their so-called white privilege and how racist they are. This was, of course, met with Twitter backlash. I mean, white people, if you like punching yourself in the face repeatedly for about an hour, this is your show. I'm pretty sure also that Oprah got rich off all these white people. I don't know. Oh well. And another thing, why do they always get the most saltine crackers in the suburbs on these white lashing shows? You know what I'm saying? Like, they're always white women too. And I'm talking about the white women that shop in the malls or the stores in the malls that serve wine and shit. Like, you know damn well they've never been to a barbecue or whatnot. Like, just obvious shit. Like if something went down in the hood, crime scene or whatever, news reporter goes down, they get the most hoodest person out there to get an excerpt or something. It's you just know it's a shit show coming. Again, it caught backlash. I haven't seen the entire show. I've only seen the trailer and the clips. I do not have Apple TV, which I believe it's on. I actually did get the Apple TV for the 7-day trial, and man, I'm an Apple lover. I got the iMac, got the laptop, got the phone. But man, something about that Apple TV, I wasn't digging on it. I don't know, the show selection kind of sucked. I mean, they had a couple movies, whatever, but I'm Amazon Fire Stick all day, every day. And I'm also DJ Kissar Podcast. You know what I'm saying, bitches? That's about it, man. That's all I got for this show. You know what I'm saying? I will continue try to put these out. This week shall be fun and telling. Let's all keep our eyes and fingers and ears open. Fingers crossed, ears open, see what Congress does. And hopefully we can, roll into the fall on a positive. Get all of us gig workers, entertainers, musicians, workers out there, anybody out there who got filed for that unemployment, get back on that so we can, coast through or hang on for this last couple months of 2020. And, I will be keeping you updated with all the music and entertainment news. Don't forget, I got the EP dropping end of the month. But, hey, don't forget to follow me on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. I'm going to be dropping little hints, little bits of information, fun little stuff before the album. Be sure to catch it. In the meantime, cheers, people.